big picture and visualization. Envision yourself and set yourself certain goals and just keep reaching for them. But make sure the goals are always unattainable. You know, once you've got to one, go to the next.
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about the long-awaited rematch. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu, the Soultaker himself. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you could, please hit the thumbs up button. It shows love and it supports this channel. And to all of you who have been circulating the videos, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and please continue to circulate the videos. We're going to start off with power. Who's got more power? Honestly, one-punch knockout power, I think it's Tim Tszyu. I think he has more one-punch knockout power. I think he has just very heavy hands. I think if he jabs you, it's going to hurt. As a matter of fact, it was Tony Harrison who said, you know, his jabs hurt. So I think he has more one-punch knockout power. I think Sebastian Fundora, because of his size and because of the length of his arms, and I don't think they never really taught him how to throw a really powerful, effective punch, because trust me, at his size, with the leverage that he has, he can throw a lot more powerful punches than he's currently doing. I mean, he's successful as is, but technique-wise, he could be more powerful. Range, clearly Sebastian Fundora. Come on. You know, again, a lot of this video is going to be a critique on Sebastian, or it's going to sound as if it's a critique on Sebastian Fundora. It's not that. I just don't feel like his trainers understand his body type. And your body type plays a huge role in how you should fight. Not necessarily how you want to fight, but how you should fight. If I haven't had a quarter every time somebody's like, oh, I want to fight like Mike Tyson, I want to do the... And I'm like, first of all, you don't have the body for that. But on top of that, that takes more of a mentality, because you got to be close to somebody. You got to have the mentality to be close and be in the fire to do something like that. When I look at Sebastian Fundora, I just look at a guy who he's fighting in a way that he puts himself in a situation that he doesn't have to be in. If I was his trainer, I would say, we're going to study Lennox Lewis until your head explodes, because that would be the best person for him to mimic. Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis lived and died by that jab, and everything came after the jab. Lennox Lewis fought tall, and he kept you at arm's reach, and he made it very difficult for people to fight, just because if they weren't his height, it was going to be it wasn't going to be a fun fight at all. You know, look at a Mike Tyson fight versus Lennox Lewis. Mike never got close to him. And that's how it should be if you have that much of a size advantage, of a reach advantage as Sebastian Fundora. Punch output. This new Tim Tszyu is different. All right, the Tim Tszyu that just beat up Joey Spencer. If you keep what you're doing, and you're touching him, and you're jabbing, and you're inching closer, and you're moving, you know, you're just giving him stuff to look at, but you're constantly pawing at him and touching him, not putting 100% sting on anything. You know, and you're keeping your composure, which is the key when it comes to Tim Tszyu. He flat out said in the Joey Spencer fight, you know, I really wanted to step on the gas, but, you know, I got to keep my composure. And I'm like, it's one thing to know it. It's another thing to do it. He did it in the moment. So I was proud of him for that. And he's going to need that same composure again, because what got that cut the last time versus Fundora is him just rushing in. So it's very dangerous to be on the outside with Fundora, obviously. So the goal is to get to the inside. But the goal is to get to the inside in a smart way, not a dumb way, not a reckless way, not a way that will get you harmed, hurt, bruised, scarred, you know, as is. No, the way is to ease your way in. The way you did Joey Spencer, that's what you need to do here. More now than ever. Because, again, it's so easy to get hurt with somebody like Fundora, because it's not even trying to hurt you. It's just that your head is where his elbow is. So you have to be careful in how you do it. But keep that same tactic, keep that same energy, but just be smart in your approach in getting on the inside. Control. Again, Fundora could have a lot more control. He could have a lot more control. But when you look at the last fight, he didn't have that much control. And that's due to him fighting like this. I don't know why. when he should be fighting like this. If he just fought like this and he had that English style and he kept this lead hand out like here, and all he needs to do is just twist it, twist it, twist it. Nobody's breaking in that defense. Like, Sebastian Fundora is so, I don't want to say fixed, because like I said, he's on a winning streak, but I don't want to say fixed, but it's so easy to improve on him because it's very minimal things that you have to do. It's like the same thing with Tim Tszyu. There was a little thing that you had to do. Now, granted, do I think I am still under the impression that he needs to upgrade his trainers. That has not changed. But the composure thing worked. Him being patient and just throwing that jab, and when in doubt, pawing the jab, worked. But you're going to have to do other things. Move your head, which he was doing a lot more in the Joey Spencer fight. He was moving his head. So moving the head is going to be crucial, because it's not like Sebastian Fundora is going to attack the body of anybody. So moving the head is going to be crucial. He's going to have to do more of that head movement that he showed with Joey Spencer, Tim Tszyu is. And if he can do that effectively, he's going to give Fundora a very difficult night. I mean, he was giving him a difficult night and he couldn't even see. So I imagine if he's composed and he uses his jab and he paws a lot, if ever they're too close, then maybe you should just clench him up and just hold, let the referee break you up and reset. There's nothing wrong with resetting. Resetting is not like the end all. Like, I think a lot of people don't like to reset. It's like, well, I worked so hard to get right here. Yeah, but sometimes it's just not the best place to be. Like, it's one thing to be clenched up with Fundora on the ropes or in a corner, but it's another thing to be clenched up with that tall tree of a man, to be clenched up in the middle of the ring, because you're going to feel something on your way out, or, when you're trying to exit. Defense. Who has better defense? Tim Tszyu. I still think he has better defense. I think the Baclaram fight was a fluke. Not a fluke, because Baclaram fight his butt off, so I don't mean it like that. But I think it was a fluke in the sense of overconfidence. And I think a good beating puts anybody back in their place in terms of perspective. And I think after watching the Joey Spencer fight with that head movement, that's what Tim Tszyu needed. He already knows how to cut off the ring. He just needed some head movement. And that's going to be enormous in this fight with Fundora. Footwork. Was better footwork. Tim Tszyu. I mean, well, let me say it like this. I think neither one of them, they don't have phenomenal footwork or exceptional footwork. I think they do what they have to do. But, again, that Joey Spencer fight, there was such a transformation, and there was such a resurgence of happiness, if you understand what I'm saying. It just seemed like Tim Tszyu wanted to be there. It seemed like he was fully immersed in the moment. And it could just simply be that he was home. It could just simply be that, he was floating because he got married. Because it takes a while to come back down once you get married. It could be a lot of those factors. And it also could be the simple fact, like, it's now or never. Where am I going at if I 3 fights in a row that I lose? Where am I going? So it could be a lot of those factors. But I just feel like he was flowing that night. I mean, and he was so precise and crisp. Now, if he can keep that, and Tim Tszyu does train all year round, like I do follow him, and he trains all year round, I don't feel like it's going to be a problem for him. And I feel like it should be a good enough turnaround in terms of time that it would really not bother him. And I feel like he'll be the much more crisp guy come the night of the fight. Durability. Here we go again. Durability. Okay. It's one thing to get hit by Joey Spencer after getting beat by Baclaram. It's something else to get hit by Fundora after getting beat by Baclaram. So we're going to find out Tim Tszyu, how durable he is now. We're going to find out. We're going to find out, because the reality is Joey Spencer looking a little timid in there. So he's not a great gauge for that, and I'm not going to use him to gauge where Tim Tszyu is after that Baclaram beating. But I would say they're about even, because both guys have been down, both guys have been bloodied, both guys have been on shaky legs, so I would say they're about even. And I think it's fair to say Fundora and Tim Tszyu are even right there. Cardio. This new Tim Tszyu has cardio. This new Tim Tszyu was working. He was just working, just pawing, right hand, body. I mean, he's just working. He's working the whole time. So you know what? I got to give him cardio. And you look at the size of Fundora. You know, he's gonna get tired more quickly, obviously. So I definitely got to give it to Tim Tszyu. Speed, Tim Tszyu. Tony Harrison. I'm quoting him. He doesn't look fast, but he's way faster than you think he is. And I think he's a great counterpuncher. I'm going with Tim Tszyu when it comes to speed. Mental toughness. Well, Fundora took a loss. He came back, and he's been on a winning streak, and he's been calling out the top dogs. Then you look at Tim Tszyu, took 2 back-to-back losses. One was actually a full-on beating. And he took on a guy who was a lot younger than him and a very dangerous guy to get in the ring with, a very slippery guy to get in the ring with, a guy who's not going to make you look great if you're not great. And he took that guy on, and he finished him. When it comes to mental toughness, I'm going to have to give it a tie. It's a tie. Because, yeah, Tim took 2 losses in a row. Fundora, he went down, you know, but he gained back, and he's been winning. Gonna have to give it a tie. They both have been through the lows of boxing. They both have felt and tasted that canvas. And both guys have gotten up, and both guys still want all the smoke. You got to say mental toughness. I got to give it to both of the guys. You know, Tim Tszyu is not ducking anybody. He's not shell-shocked because he's still calling out top guys. He still wants that strap. He's still calling out the top names. So I can't say he's ducking anybody. That's mental toughness. You look at Fundora. You know, he was like, oh, I want to fight Earl Spence. I'll fight Bud Crawford. I'll fight, you know, whoever. Just put him in the ring. You can't say that Fundora is a scary guy. No, he wants to smoke. So when it comes to mental toughness, I got to give it a tie. Last but not least, danger. Who's more dangerous? Is it Tim Tszyu or is it Sebastian Fundora? Some people are going to hate me for this. I think it's Tim Tszyu. I think he's more dangerous right now. I think he's feeling that feeling of winning again after a very long time of not feeling it, back-to-back losses. And I think he's getting his confidence back. I think he's in his groove. I think he's in his mojo. I think the fact that the turnaround time is going to work in his favor and not Fundora's. He didn't get hurt during that fight with Joey Spencer. I'm going to say he hits harder. So I'm not just talking about the mental aspect. I'm talking about the fact that he also physically hits harder. I think he's a physical, durable guy. I think he can definitely step on the gas when he has to, and I think him like Fundora, because I'm not gonna, disclose or disapprove Fundora when I say reserves, but he has the reserves to do it, and he's shown he can be composed and he can box if he has to. I think Tim Tszyu is more dangerous because I think he still has something to prove. I think Joey Spencer was the start of something to prove, of the something to prove campaign for Tim Tszyu. And with that, drop your thoughts down below.